What's up and welcome to a brand new update of the last day on Earth that secretly has the greatest change that we have seen in years. So without further ado, let's get to covering. First and foremost, the Forlorn Fair has returned, and however has returned, to my understanding, in the exact same form as it has previously, so there's not actually anything new, but it is back. That's awesome. We'll get to that in a minute because I've already actually cleared out the entirety of the fair, so we already got all the goods from that. But the devil's in the details of this update, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a couple of things that we definitely want to go over, starting with a couple of the small things that actually begins with the fact that two things around gas cylinders. Number one, they are now stackable. I don't think you understand how much room I have saved in my chest by the ability to do this. This is by far and away a first world problem. My entire chest here was filled to the brim with gas cylinders. Now they just take up a couple of stacks over here. Easy peasy. Okay, first world problem aside, I guess we'll continue with a slightly, again, first world problem is that you now have the ability as well to recycle these guys should you choose. Because if I plop them down into here, you can see we can recycle them. For the love of everything that you do, don't you recycle this, because what you get versus how hard it is to get your hands on a gas cylinder, if you recycle that, I will find you and I will raid you, okay? That is a promise. Next up, we have the ability to actually rotate some buildings, such as, if I go ahead and click on this fella over here, we can rotate the garage in all directions, making for a little bit of extra customization, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Not to mention, we also have the ability to do that with the dog crate. So previously you really weren't able to rotate these, but now you are. So it just lets you kind of customize and make your base, you know, like you don't have to build your base around the dog crate and around these items that don't rotate. It's kind of vice versa, and you can make them more tailored to how you build your base. Also, it vaguely mentions building mode hints have been added. So I don't exactly know what that means in the patch notes. It just says that there's new building mode hints and more detailed building mode stuff. So we got that going. And next little change is actually over here inside of the store via the items of the day tab, where now you actually have a usage for coins in the game. For like the longest time, coins pretty much were limited to like buying gas and like skipping raider tasks, and really that was about it. Now you actually do have additional usages for the coins via being able to purchase different items that every day get refreshed. And speaking of coins and in-game purchases, you can get up to 25% cash back on anything that you do in Last Day on Earth. What you're gonna want to do is go to that link at the very tippity top of the description. Then once you go ahead and click that link, it is going to take you here to the Aptoid store. So from there, I mean, it's pretty easy peasy. There's a big old download button over here. Go ahead and press that. Now, I'm doing this through the web, but also what you can do is actually get the dedicated Aptoid app as well. And here y'all can see that it is literally just a dedicated app. Y'all do know we were just in Last Day on Earth Survival, and y'all can see that we actually have the possibility to just go ahead and update Last Day on Earth Survival instead of downloading it from the web. For existing users, if you have the game already, you can upgrade without losing any in-game achievements or anything like that. So all we're gonna do is go ahead and press update, and bada bing, bada boom. We just gotta go ahead and allow a couple of permissions. You are gonna wanna go to the second link in the description from the top and go over to that, and that is going to take you to the App Coins wallet, which you are going to want to download, again, either from the web or from the app. Voila! We have the app. We are now going to want to go ahead and open this bad boy up and configure this. So we are going to want to launch the wallet, and then our wallet address has been created. But first, what we're going to want to do is actually put in a promo code by going over into the bottom right, clicking on rewards, and then using that promo code. And then for the promo code, you are going to want to put in StarSnipe5, submit it, and ka-chow! 5% extra bonus coming your way for any purchases that you make in Last Day on Earth. So we're gonna go and make a purchase, and this time when we go in to make a purchase, you will notice that we are actually being taken to this screen. Not just that, we are of course greeted by just immediately being told, hey, here's the purchase bonus that you are going to get as well, which is nice and hefty. So why don't we go and actually make a purchase through PayPal here for the sake of things. And really quickly after logging in, just as usual here for PayPal, or forget if you do your credit card card, whatever it is that you might be using. We're just gonna go ahead and complete the purchase, and then that will take us back to the app, just as any purchase would, with the added caveat that now there's gonna be some extra funds coming our way, brought to you by LDoE. And there you go, success with our bonus being received. So hopefully y'all can take advantage of this as well. And again, huge thank you to LDoE for sponsoring the video and supporting the channel and hooking us up with that Star Snipe 5 promo code that, again, once you download the app wallet, you can go ahead and throw into there, which again will be getting you an extra 5% bonus in all of your last day on Earth purchases. Now, I will say, these seem ridiculously expensive, and similar to what I said about recycling gas cylinders, I probably would not recommend buying these if you do have gold, but you can keep your eye out, maybe get a good deal over there. And finally, the big kahuna of this update. Automatic weapon replacement from the inventory. Star, what the heck does that mean? Oh, baby, I'm gonna show you. And I'm gonna show you none other than the fair, because I think it is only fitting that we bring our adventures over there to show this thing off, because first off, this is something that should have been in the game years ago or something. Like, this is something that people have been collaborating for years ago, but effectively, what this does is, number one, the extra pocket perk is now a bit of a game changer in a different way. Also, number two, you no longer, essentially, I'll explain it here before I show it off, but long story short, no longer is the only way for you to replace a weapon by having another weapon in your backup slot. No. The way that it works now is that the first weapon that'll be replaced, I believe, is actually, so for example, here when my Uzi breaks, I believe it will be replaced by the Glock 17. But if you do not have a gun in your extra pocket or in a secondary pocket of any sort, what will actually happen is that it will take the first gun from your inventory, and then the next gun, and the next one, and the next one after that, effectively meaning that, number one, if you have an extra pocket perk, no longer is kind of like the go-to setup for a lot of people, the fact that you need to have a gun in your backup slot, because when this one breaks, it'll automatically switch to the other one. And essentially what this does is it makes this notion of going into your inventory and swapping out mid-battle and having to like put in guns obsolete. If your gun breaks, as long as you have another gun in your inventory, it'll always switch over to that. And actually, I forgot something at my base that's gonna be pretty important that I think is actually a big plus of this. And all right, now we are back at the fair with the drone in our extra pocket, something that I would have never done before, because for the longest time I've complained about this, the fact that the drone has to take up a dedicated extra pocket slot in order to be used. And me being, I typically go through pretty high level areas, I like having a gun in my backup slot, so when this gun breaks, it'll just automatically swap to the next gun, and I don't have to like, oh, my Uzi broke, I don't have a gun, I have to go into my inventory and grab another. That is no longer the case. Now the case has become that this will automatically just grab the next gun from my inventory, which does two things. Number one, no longer is the extra pocket perk this massive game changer. It still is a game changer, but now before you have the extra pocket perk unlocked, you can still comfortably have a first aid kit or medical supplies in your secondary slot and have a weapon or a gun of some sort in your primary slot and not have to worry about mid-battle, oh no, my gun is broken, I need to go into my inventory, click out another gun, and get that up in there. And so here y'all will be seeing exactly this in action, because we are gonna dive headfirst into a very hard arena battle with Naomi and Dash, the hardest of all the arena battles. If you guys want to see more about the fair as well, we have checked out the fair previously when it was around, so be sure to check out some of the previous videos on the channel around the fair that will get you some more details. But we will still be doing all the fair events today, don't worry. But just in case y'all do want more, this is a returning event. Now, Naomi and Dash, how diddly do you do? It's me, and I've got a drone that I would like to use, because no longer do I need to worry about freaking my gun breaking and not having anything to switch to. Oh, no. We're gonna go ahead and just let the Uzi rip. I can comfortably activate the ability on my drone, and I don't even need to stress. I do not need to fret. I can just go and pump these zombies full of bullets, and check it out. My gun broke. Oh, it is automatically switched to the first gun that was in my inventory. I don't need to go into my inventory mid-battle and grab a gun and panic and all this stuff. No. I just automatically get the next gun in the inventory, and as a result, activating the drone is more viable than ever before, which again is pretty end game. I do keep that in mind. Obviously, this is kind of like an end game benefit of this, but there are also early game benefits, which, like I said, for early game players, no longer do you need the extra pocket to be able to have a secondary gun to swap to mid-battle without needing to go into your inventory. Now, the first gun in your inventory will automatically be grabbed, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, just like that. And I gotta say, that isn't the bit, like, obviously, like, it's literally just like a little side note in the patch notes for this update. But in reality, the ramifications are huge, because I can already tell you, imagine going through some sort of high intensity battle, like a tough boss, you know, like a tough boss that has a lot of health, that it's very stressful mid-battle. Like, think about some of the, I'll be taking some of these guys, because you guys always want to be looting up these prize stands. They have some goodies inside of them that we can then turn in and get some points in the fair for. But think about it, in the middle of very intense battles with powerful bosses that have a lot of health, you don't want to be switching guns and taking up time mid-battle to manage your inventory, and no longer do you have to do that. And not just that, if you have the extra pocket perk, no longer should you even consider really having a secondary weapon unless there's a specific weapon you want to swap to. And then even also if you're doing like high intensity things, like some of those tough boss battles, like laboratory bosses that can like insta-kill you if you mess up, you know, or if there are like the Bunker Bravo, where you're on a time limit, you're on a timer, you have to go as fast as possible, going into your inventory loses precious seconds. All of these things you don't really have to worry about as much as you used to, which for me is such a huge benefit of this and has me so stoked for this. But all right, why don't we go and get stoked for this event that is going on here, because we are going to be hitting some zombies with some baseballs and collecting some points. The strategy for this is you kind of want to aim approximately for the zombie. Okay, for some reason I am like freaking just, I was hitting something wrong there. I like kind of like aiming right down the middle, or like typically just aiming for an area where multiple zombies are. Like, I'd like to aim, if I can, for the zombie in the back, but I want to aim in a way where if I miss, there's still a good chance that I'll hit something else. But y'all can see here, I'm pelting this guy pretty comfortably. We still have 30 seconds left, and ka-chow. Very easy event over here, and the rewards that you get for it are solid. Nothing crazy, just some coupons and whatnot that we can go ahead and turn in. And of course, even me, you know, I may have gotten all the best rewards from this event, but that doesn't mean that I'm done collecting and turning in coupons. Do you want to know why? Because I am able to get my hands upon fair coupons. And fair coupons can be utilized to get some more goods. So over here, William, please take all of my coupons. Yes, you want as many of these as you could possibly get. Voila, we've gotten a level up. I will pop on over here, take that ticket, and another level is coming my way. Beautiful over here. We have a turkey race where we have to try to keep our eyes on the prize being this turkey with a green little helmet on him. Hello, green helmeted turkey. I am gonna be staring at you profusely. He is gonna be the man in the middle, and I'm gonna just keep my mouse cursor on him and try not to lose sight of him. We will see how this goes. This one is a little bit tricky, but yeah, for me, I'm playing on an emulator, you know, so I could literally keep my mouse over here. But if you don't have a mouse, you know, use your finger to keep track of them. Just some way. Always be pointing at the one turkey. Sometimes it gets tricky if they're like on top of each other and Siamese twinning it up or something crazy like that. But for the most part, as long as they don't deploy any crazy maneuvers, there you go. Easy peasy. That's where the hat is. And the tickets are in the box. I'll be taking those, take it very kindly, and I'll be turning them into William for some more points. I don't believe that we'll be able to get our hands on more of these. And then, of course, if you guys do not know, these carrot sticks and whatnot, if you guys do want to get those, I'm not too stressed or too pressed about doing that, just because, like, I already have maxed out all of the best rewards that you can get out of the fair. So for me, all I get at this point is these fair coupons, which, to be fair, does return you good loot. But if you want to get the food stuff, you just head on over here to the food stall and craft them up via that. And then you can make your way over here. If you do, y'all can see this is all the stuff that I've gotten in the past from turning in the fair coupons, right? But now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go in, cash in one of those, and over at the very bottom we should see we just got our hands on a Scar, a Uzi, and probably a couple of other things that stack. Because we know that if new items get added, they'll be at the end of the list, but then there's also probably some things that are just stacking on top of existing things, and it's just kind of a little bit tricky to keep track of those. But for the most part, we are, oh baby, a gas cylinder, a middle core, and a little bit of lead. All very lovely things that I love to see. And if y'all did have stuff here left over from the last time around the event was around, you do get it back, so you can access it as well, which is nice because I know sometimes people can leave stuff behind. So it is cool, again, to be seeing an event, again, returning to last day on Earth because, you know, it's always a bummer to me when an event, and over here we have various quests that we can take from our boy Woods. That we gotta do, we gotta go to the Pine Grove, restock the bar, and light the torches at the fair. I need a torch to do that, actually, so yeah, so to light those, I'm gonna have to head home and grab some torches in order to do that, but at the very least, we can go and restock the bar, potentially. We'll see exactly what this requires, but again, if we knock out these 3 quests that Woodsy has given us, we will be able to get some prizes. He needs some canned food and some juicy steaks. I've got some canned food. I do not have the juicy steaks. I do, however, have a little bit of raw meat that I could go and cook up, which I believe is exactly what I am going to need it to do, but for now I suppose those 2 quests will have to be TBD. We can also head over to the Pine Grove, which I think we are going to do after we do the final of the events that are going on over here in stage 3 of the fair, which is going to be the maze. For the maze, by the way, definitely want to have the roll ability activated here just in case push does come to shove. And without further ado, let's talk to Carl. Open up the door, and it's like playing a game of Pac-Man over here. Waka, 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 waka. We are going through this maze, trying to avoid these zombies and trying not to get hit by them, because if they hit us, they can definitely do a number on us. Will I be able to get this off before that zombie gets to me? Maybe, maybe, maybe. It is going to be a little bit close. Oh, no. Okay, he only does do 30 damage, so it's not like you get insta-killed or anything. I do have pretty good armor, though. Do keep that in mind. But we are just going to run around because we are significantly faster than these dudes. Make our way over here and activate the final of the fireworks in this very deep corner that actually might get us in a little bit of trouble depending on the way that they go. We will just go and kite him around over here, and oh no, we're getting hit a little bit, but that's all right. We did quite all right. See ya. Wouldn't want to be up, but I would want to be these tickets that I'm collecting right over here, please, and thank you. And with that, every event in the fair has been knocked out, so again, nothing really new going on in Fairland. But let's make our way over to the Pine Grove before we make our way back home to grab a couple of these things that we need to wrap up a couple of these quests and continue wrapping up and checking out what this update does have to offer. So for the most part, yeah, it's just a couple of small changes here and there, but however, one of those small changes having massive ramifications because again, doing your Bunker Bravo runs, doing your hard mode laboratory boss battles, really just any tough boss battle or any extended battle that requires multiple guns, like even fighting some of the bosses over the transportation hub, for example, like any battles that are, you're just spending a long time fighting the same enemy and you have to go into your inventory at some point to switch out guns. It's going to be a huge benefit for, and where is the Pine Grove, by the way? I do believe the Pine Grove is going to be over this way. Let's run our way over there. Also, as y'all can see by the motorcycles over here at the time of me recording this, the Pursuit of Luck event has returned, another event that has, whatchamacallit, that was revamped recently that we now do see happening on a recurring basis. And it is cool, again, to see the Forlorn Fair return because it's just a bummer to me when these temporary updates drop or these updates that add in these events that only last for a limited time or only last for a little bit. I prefer actually seeing these things coming back because it's a bummer in my mind that the developers would spend time on something that's only in the game for a little bit when they could be spending time on things that are in the game permanently, or at least in this case, holy heck, that screamer is a powerful fella with quite a lot of health and he's gonna be screaming. And check it out, my gun just switched over here to the VSS because again, that little ability that I was talking about was going down. Let's activate that drone over here, and I'm not doing a lot of damage to the screamer, so why don't we actually go ahead and get that up into there, and the screamer is going to be running like a little baby, and we are going to continue, hello turkey, chasing him down because I believe he has to do something over here. Oh, let's not get caught in the scream. There you go. I think like after he screams or something, he should be more susceptible. Let's activate that thing on our drone as well. Dude, can you get back here, screamer? I just want to end your life. Is that so much to ask? And he's just going to keep on summoning a few of these dudes, but at least our katana is doing a little more damage. Our armor is taking a little bit of a beating as well. He is doing a couple of battles here and there with his big sumo wrestling moves, but not good enough. Woo! to take me down. See you later, scream you later. The fast biter as well has dropped a little cute zombie for us, which will be handy. And with that, the first of Wood's 3 quests are completed. Let's make our way back home, get our hands on a torch, and cook up a little bit of meat as well so we can wrap up the other 2 quests that Woodsy did have in store for us. But yeah, all in all, that tends to like at a high level summarize the update and what it does bring. No massive changes, unfortunately, outside of the one small but surprisingly big change of the extra pocket and kind of like how that works, because again, for early game players, essentially no longer do you need the extra pocket perk to be able to switch guns or to be able to kind of shoot your gun for longer before having to go into your inventory to manage your gun situation or your weapon situation. Now it just automatically gets managed, which is seriously such a big deal. Let's go ahead and craft up a little bit of a torchy over here, then make our way over to the fireplace where we can light this puppy on fire. We got a little bit of carrots up in here, but I'm not interested in the carrots. I'm interested in 3 pieces of meat that we will be bringing back for an offering over at, sorry about the burp there, the fair. Oh, a little bit of bars there as well. The fair, burp there. Bro, the rap album is coming soon, don't y'all worry. But yeah, high level there, y'all do have the update. I would love to hear from y'all as well what y'all do think about the update in that comment section down below, whether it be your thoughts on the Forlorn Fair returning, which again, I'm super stoked for because a lot of people are not like me and a lot of people do not have the Forlorn Fair finished, all right? And because of that, great opportunity for so many players to progress throughout all 3 stages of the Forlorn Fair and get their hands on items that you can only get through the Forlorn Fair, like the fuel tank, the electronics crate, the junk repository, all that stuff. Or for people who already have some of these things, again, great chance to get your hands on. I mean, here's the thing. Y'all have seen some of these events and how easy they are. They don't really take up weapon durability, don't take up armor durability. You know, some of the quests that Woodsy gives us over here, also pretty easy, and those do give us ticket points. All these contribute to getting your hands on tickets that you can turn in for loot over at the prize stand. And as y'all are seeing, the loot in the prize stand is pretty good. Not to mention, of course, that the confetti has returned as well. If y'all do not know, you can get confetti from doing various things around this event. And what you can do is go ahead and actually modify some guns to have confetti on them. Over here are all the weapons that you can confettiify. And essentially what that happens is as you use this version of the weapon, you get extra points. Whatchamacallit, you earn fair points and you get twice as many points if you use this gun at the laboratory, sewer, police station, farm, bunker bravo, and transportation hub. So all great things going on all of those fronts. But okie dokie, let's go and light some of these bad boys because we have got to light a couple of these tiki stands on fire. Oh, the fire's purple. That's freaking crazy, dude. We just gotta go and light a couple of these bad boys. The band continues playing, it's doing its thing. I'm not sure if that's a new song or not, because that does sound a little bit on the new side, but maybe I'm just going crazy, and I mean, the fair hasn't been around in a while, you know? Let's make it over here and light the final of those, and then we just have to restock the bar, and bada bang, bada boom, we should be nice and set on this front, and all of the quests should be done, and then we can go and pick up a little bit of bonus loot from Woods over here in his little chest that he has for us, which comes in the form of confetti. And again, this place does respawn every 22 hours, but again, nothing about this is new. The event itself is returning, although we do have the opportunity to, I mean, we're close to another level. We should be able to get one soon. But for now, that does about wrap it up with essentially, I mean, we've done everything that we can do at the fair now because we are at the end game of the fair. But like I was saying, great opportunity for a lot of players to be able to, you know, get their hands on the stuff. And really quickly, just do want to showcase again how these guns are used over, and we'll just head over to the farm. I think it's the closest place where we can show off the extra fair points that we do get. It did say the farm, right, on the gun? I believe so. At the, yep, the farm is one of the locations that we can head to reap the rewards and benefits of this. So we will do exactly that. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about the update in that comment section down below. Definitely would like to hear what y'all think about the return of the Forlorn Fair and some of these small changes that were added. Specifically though, I think the big one that a lot of people will have opinions on is going to be the kind of functionality for weapon switching. And I think across the board, I think there's nothing, like, it's hard not to love that sort of a change. But check it out. We fight the yokels, boom! As we shoot them, we get points depending on the damage that we do. However, if we do less damage because we're fighting higher armored enemies like the Savage Giant, we get a little bit less. So essentially, depending on the damage that you do, you're getting points in the form of these tickets, and these do help us level up and whatnot, and that is how that side of things does function. But other than that, that about wraps it up in terms of what the update does bring. We went over some of those small changes, and I am going to try to have some more follow-up videos as well, further showcasing just how game-changing this extra pocket, or not extra pocket, but this weapon switching backpack stuff is, because it seriously can have a profound effect on the outcome of things. And let me know what y'all think in that comment section down below as well. I would like to hear what y'all do have to say and how y'all are going to use this, because I think endgame players are going to love it, because it kind of opens up another slot. Or even, like, for example, something that I would never do is like using more advanced medical supplies like inhalers and stuff like that at the laboratory, because I always wanted to have 2 guns and I wanted to have my medical supply. But now I don't need to dedicate one of my 2 pockets to a gun, so it frees me up to use different types of medical supplies. It frees me up to actually use the drone, because, dude, for the longest time, my biggest complaint about the drone is that it has to be in an extra pocket to be usable. It's not like an active skill where it's a dedicated button. It has to be in a pocket. But now, because I don't need to have that second pocket dedicated to a gun in order to lessen the amount of times that mid-battle I need to, like, go to my inventory to switch a gun, because, again, no longer do I need to go into my inventory to switch a gun. It automatically happens when my weapon breaks. Seriously, so game-changing from so many different aspects of the game, and I love it, and I think y'all will as well if y'all have not already started reaping the benefits of that. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I'm definitely looking forward to y'all's thoughts around that, and just the update in general, because I do love just seeing things return to the game. And let me know as well in that comment section down below what other events y'all would want to see come back to the game, because for me, I don't know if y'all recall freaking season 6 or season 7, the prison break season. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look up like Last Day on Earth Prison, right? And y'all will get to see one of the coolest seasons, in my opinion, way back in the day that we got to experience, where we were literally like doing heists into this raider fortified prison fortress and getting loot out of there. You know, I just love seeing these things that were one-time or temporary things come back, because I know how much time and effort had to go into developing those things, and I'm just so bummed to know that sometimes that time and effort is for a one-time thing instead of things that, you know, can further be enjoyed by players indefinitely into the future. So again, seeing things like the Forlorn Fair return, seeing events like the Pursuit of Luck get reworked to be better, these are all great changes, and I do love them, and I hope that we do continue to see them. But let me know in that comment section down below as well what y'all do think, and any other events that y'all would like to see making a return, whether they be old season things or events like the Echo 1 dig site that we haven't seen in a while. You know, definitely would like to hear that. Maybe some of those events like the Echo 1 dig site getting reworked in some fashion, kind of like how the Pursuit of Luck event has been reworked, or how like the rituals over at the Cult Village had been reworked with their comebacks every once in a while. So definitely a lot of things to be excited about. But of course, y'all know me, I'm a sucker for permanent content, and hopefully we do have on the horizon some sort of a big update that actually has like new locations added into the game, furthering the story, new locations, new bosses, new weapons, you know, actually being able to potentially make our way over to the suburbs, because if y'all do not know, the suburbs, of course, being kind of like the current thing that is like the big tease of Last Day on Earth, because if y'all do progress throughout the storyline over here, I believe it is, through the air support chapter in the Survivor's Path, blah, 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 eventually you can open up or reveal the suburbs, which are now in addition to places like Bunker Charlie, and in addition to places like whatchamacallit, the oil rig, continue teasing us on the horizon. So hopefully we can get some progress in those directions, along with, of course, I mean, I think it'd be crazy not to say that everybody wants to see the helicopter finally be a thing as well, because I would kill for a new vehicle. It's been a long time since we had a new one of those. But many things to be excited about, but for now it does appear to be mainly small changes in quality of life stuff. Some of those big ramifications, like the extra pocket, not extra pocket, I keep calling it that, like the weapon switching over here that we are experiencing, the return of events, and just kind of like small things like being able to make gas cylinders stackable and stuff like that, that are all highly appreciated, at least by me, and hopefully y'all do appreciate them as well. And I'd like to hear any ideas that y'all might have in that comment section down below. And who knows, maybe a developer is watching the video and they see a cool idea in the comments and they're like, yay, that's a good idea. Because I don't know, man, I just want to see the game continue getting better, and changes like this, they're small, but they matter. And as much as I do love big changes the most, small changes that are good for the game, like this automatic weapon switching from the primary pocket, are seriously, you know, potentially underappreciated, and seriously can have such a big effect on how you play the game, and sincerely and significantly help out both early mid, and end game players. And I'm excited to kind of like show off just how useful this can be in places like laboratory boss battles and specifically definitely Bunker Bravo. Like this change is gonna be big for Bunker Bravo because dude, the amount of times that I have to like switch guns in the middle of a very hard boss battle like Dr. Dread, or just kind of because I'm trying to rush through that area, it's gonna come in handy and I'm looking forward to it. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. But with that said, with that done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's go and start breaking down into this episode of Last Day on Earth. Hey, you guys a whole ton for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.